What's in the stars and the cards ahead for you this week? I'm so excited to dive into this week ahead and talk with you all about how to use the moon to increase your luck. Because I truly believe that luck is where preparation meets opportunity. And this is the week to set you up. So as you hop on, give me a quick hello. I'm going to make sure that you can all hear me. Definitely let me know if you can see and hear me. I am just popping up in one more place. We'll see if I can go live. Hello, Julie. Great to have you. Holy cannoli. I'm glad that you're here. So I'm going to invite all of you because this is a very fertile, abundant, prosperous week where we have a once in a 12-year opportunity to really be aware, awake, open to the opportunities that are coming our way. And that's one of the things that I love to do is teach people how to use their intuition, how to tap into that inner knowing, the hunches, the nudges, so that they know when to take action, that they're getting the signs from the universe that say, you know what, call this person up, go to the store at this time, you'll cross paths with just the right person. And then what ends up happening is a whole new wave of opportunities opens up for you, because I truly believe that it's not just us closing our eyes and making intentions or wishes and hoping for these magical things to fall into our laps, just raining down money and abundance and prosperity. Great if that happens, but more often than not, what's required, and I'll use that word, required, is that this is a dance with the divine. Co-creating is what we're doing. We have a dream and inspiration in our heart, and opportunities open up, and we get those little nudges and hints and inklings where we need to take action. We make our request known to the heavens above, and then God universe says, okay, psst, do this. And it's up to us to hear that, to take action, and to move forward. So without further ado, place your hand on your heart. Let's tune in and just ask, what is the most important thing that you need to know going into this week ahead? And this little guy was jumping out. King of Pentacles. And I love this guy. Let's see if I can get him to focus better. King of Pentacles is wonderful because what he's doing is he's saying, you know what? I'm an expert in my field. I'm not going to run around like a chicken with my head chopped off, but I'm going to be able to sit back and truly look at all of the details. And I'm going to pay attention to them. And he's concerned with the things of this earth, concerned with resources, your money, your time, your energy levels. He's saying, let's take stock. Where are you currently, and where do you want to go? I'm going to invite you, because we have a long void of course moon today, Monday, before a wonderful cosmic event, a once in a 12-year opportunity opening up tomorrow, to do the daydreaming, to basically take some time, sit back like the King of Pentacles, and think about, reflect on, where have I come? What have I accomplished? Where do I want to go? Where's my level of expertise? Because the King of Pentacles, he's not a newbie. He's been around the block, so to speak. He knows what he's doing. He's already amassed a certain amount of respect and accolades and knowledge for sure. Lean into that. You know more than you realize. Oh, and I get goosebumps. I'm going to try one more time to go live in this other location, and we'll see if it works. One cool thing to take note of today is that Mercury stations direct. Now, as Mercury is stationing direct, what I love is that things are going to get easier with tech, with communication. But today, think of it as if you were running really, really, really fast, and all of a sudden you had to stop on a dime and then turn around and switch directions. That's kind of what happens today with Mercury. You've been running really fast backwards because Mercury's been apparently moving backwards in the heavens above. And now all of a sudden, everything sets up to say, oh, wait, we can go forward again and act like normal. But we need that moment of reacclimation. So if you feel a little off kilter today, if your mind isn't quite straight, that's okay. This is the point of transition where we're getting ready to move forward again. The moon being void, of course, as well. It's Monday, August 11th. Seeing the date is not necessarily the day to do a lot of the number work Let's say that. So even though we have the King of Pentacles, because the moon's in Pisces, I'm going to invite you to do the dreamy kind of work. Look back on where you were 12 years ago, the last time we had this beautiful event where Jupiter and Venus met up in the heavens in Cancer. And we're going to talk about that because it happens tomorrow. That's our once in 12-year event. But think back 12 years ago, and then even 24 years ago, and just kind of say, what was going on then? What was I dreaming about? What was I wishing for? What actions did I take? What actions didn't I take? Because that's the cool thing too about all of these sacred practices that I teach you. And by the way, if we haven't met yet, my name's Irina Miller. I'm an energy alchemist, an astrologer, a spiritual life guide. What I love, love, love to do is bring all of the sacred practices to you in very distilled, curated fashion from my studying for the last 3 decades. I bring these sacred practices to you so that you can really harness the juiciness of them without having to spend years, decades going deep, 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 unless you discover, you know what? I love astrology. I want to learn more about astrology, or I want to learn more about intuition or speaking with the other side. Then that's when I bring my students through the Energy Alchemist program and I teach them how to do that. But in the meantime, let's talk about the beautiful benefit of knowing how to speak the language of intuition, because that in my heart is what I love to be able to offer to you, where you can start to notice these opportunities. You hear the universe essentially giving you these hints. And when I say hear, we all pick up intuitive guidance in basically one of 4 ways. There's 4 main intuitive gifts, definitely more than that, but we work with the 4 basics in the beginning, so we don't get too overwhelmed. There's clear seeing, like clairvoyance. You get an image that pops into your head, like you look at someone and you might think orange or feel orange. You might actually see it with your eyeballs. You might see shadows out of the corner of your eyes. Somebody might talk to you and you get movies or pictures popping into your head. That would be clairvoyance, the gift of clear seeing. So maybe spirit talks to you in pictures. You might be clear hearing, clairaudient. You might get certain phrases that catch your ear. You're in a crowd, you pick up a certain, conversation off to the side. Or maybe it's a song that you wake up with in the morning. This is one of the ways that, God universe might speak to you is through music or words. You see the bumper stickers and you get confirmation and validation. I have a client and she saw a license plate, a vanity plate, and she had been questioning some things. She's making an incredible big leap of faith, expanding her business. She's so excited. And she's, it's scary, right? When we grow, when we expand, we're getting out of our comfort zone. And she looked to the car in front of her because she was inspired to. And the license plate said, "It's time." Oh my God, I get chills. And then she looked at her clock because she thought time, and it said 11:11. And she just thought, oh my goodness, like one would have been enough. But the 2 of those together, like the 1-2 punch, was amazing for her. It gave her such peace of mind and validation that she had seen an opportunity. She felt moved by spirit to take a leap. And then, of course, we get nervous, we worry. People in our world, well-meaning, might say things like, "Oh, are you crazy? Who do you think you are? Are you sure? In this economy, and this, is that even? Whoa, 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 cancel, clear, delete. That's why it's so important when you are co-creating with the universe that when your beautiful dream, your project is a little baby like plant, don't expose it to the world. Let it get roots. Let it grow strong. Establish your dream. Start to see the fruits of your labor before you start to communicate. Broadcast is what they want to broadcast it to the wild world. So, that's why I love talking about these gifts. And let's just talk about the last 2 because I kind of skipped over those. But the clairsentience, clear feeling. You're talking to someone and you get goosebumps or you get sick to your stomach, or another really cool way to know what your main intuitive gifts are. And we all have a blend of them. The goal is to get all of them working together. So we're working around as a fully, I'm hesitating to say awake because I feel like that's used for other things, but we're just fully embodied. I like that word. We're fully embodied and we're really moving through the world using all of our gifts and senses. So the clairsentience, you might find yourself saying, "Oh, I'm sick to my stomach," or, "Oh, they're a pain in the neck. They're a pain in my tushy." We have these phrases where we actually can tune into what our intuitive gifts are. Like, oh, they sound off. Something feels off. That doesn't look right. Those are little clues of like what your intuitive gifts might be. And then the last one, we spoke about clairsentience, clairaudience, clairvoyance, and claircognizance, the clear knowing. You just know something to be true. You feel it so strong in your gut. People might call you a know-it-all. You have no way of knowing how you know, but you're usually right. In fact, you're always right. And these are interesting times. So tune in to your intuitive gifts. The bonus of that, the reason that I encourage you to start to learn more about what your intuitive gifts are, and around this video, I have a link that it's like to a quiz to find out what are my intuitive gifts, like what are my strong ones. You can click on that gift. It's like a free gift. There's a heart near it. But what it does is it enables you to be more alert to the way that the messages from God universe are coming through to you. So for example, you might be driving down the street and you see a billboard with an accountant on it. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's right. I need to reach out and contact, my accountant or my bookkeeper. Or you're driving down the street and your favorite song comes on the radio and you think of your little brother. And you're like, oh my gosh, I should give him a call. And you do. And you find out, oh, he really needed to hear your voice. He'd been thinking of you. So you're just a little bit more aware and alert as to how the messages come through. This is important because Tuesday, August 12th, is a big day that many people in my community have been really looking forward to. And it expands beyond the physical day. As one of my teachers would say, the universe doesn't turn on a dime. So Tuesday, Jupiter, the planet of luck, good fortune, abundance, prosperity, growth, expansion, considered a benefic planet, full of abundance, full of goodness. And I hesitate a little because everything has a high frequency and everything has a low frequency. We all have our good days and our bad days. Jupiter can too. So Jupiter has the high frequency. I giggle because I have one of these relationships with Jupiter where I look at it and I think, whatever you touch, you're going to expand and grow, and kind of giggle because when Jupiter goes through certain parts of our chart, we have to watch because we could actually physically expand and grow in our body and gain weight. And Jupiter's like, oh, I'm just making more of a good thing. Like we're expanding and growing. So we need to be intentional when Jupiter comes around because it'll just be like, oh, you want more of that? Again, it's like the basic laws of manifesting or co-creating. Universe doesn't hear negative. So if people are like, I don't want to be fat or I don't want to be broke, and I'm, using kind of bad English, but the universe doesn't hear the don't. It hears the I want, like I want to be, fill in the blank. And Jupiter's kind of like that too. Oh, you want more of this? So I want to just invite you Monday when we have this long all day moon void, of course, which means the moon is doing nothing. So should you. It's not exactly nothing, but don't start new projects. Try to avoid buying new big purchases, avoid signing contracts or making agreements with people. Be like, oh, I got to think about it, dream on it, pray about it, meditate, whatever you want to say. Get back in touch with them on Tuesday or even Thursday. Thursday is a really nice strategic day. And so if you think about the King of Pentacles laying out the week for you as the overarching energy to be aware of, Monday's kind of the daydreamy stage where you're feeling into things, you're dreaming, you're reflecting, clearing out the clutter, because the clutter can really and truly keep you from being able to welcome in the new. And then Tuesday, you're aware of those opportunities coming across your path, because that's when Jupiter and Venus meet. And Venus is the planet of beauty and money and harmony and relationships. So you have this planet of abundance and prosperity meeting up with that planet of beauty, harmony, money. So it's like increasing beauty, harmony, money, love, all in the zodiac sign of Cancer, which is a place where we feel safe. And Jupiter is so happy at Cancer's house. He's like, oh, it feels so good to be here. I can really stretch out and get big and relax. I can enjoy myself and eat all of the goodies. Jupiter in Cancer is creating a lot of warm, fuzzy feelings in our heart. So you might find that you want to create something beautiful around your home. You might want to daydream about home or foundation, safety, putting down roots. This is a place where I'm going to really invite you. Be aware of what's catching your attention over these next couple of days, because the universe is trying to nudge you into space. Because for Jupiter to go all the way through all of the zodiac signs, it takes 84 years. And for Jupiter to meet up, well, no, Cancer clear delete. I'm thinking Uranus. Holy cannoli. Why am I thinking about Uranus? And I think I know why he popped into my mind. He's sneaking in there, planet of rebels. Jupiter takes 12 years to go through all the zodiac signs. And so that's why it takes him 12 years to meet up with Venus again in Cancer. They meet up every year. They have a little hangout and they kind of chill and talk. But for Jupiter to meet with Venus in Cancer, this happens once every 12 years. And this is Jupiter's, one of his happiest spots to be in. Another happy spot is Sagittarius. But for him right now, he's like, oh, I'm just so happy. I'm feeling really good. What do we want to increase? Venusian things, harmony, love, beauty, all at Cancer's house, so your emotional foundation, your love, your relationships, working with the family. It's really an exciting time. So I want to invite you to think of this week as a week of clearing out emotional clutter so you can welcome in abundance, love, and then expansion of the Jupiter-Venus conjunction that is being offered to you. So it's essentially the cosmic equivalent of tidying your heart and home for the next chapter, because you're setting the energetic tone for the next 12 years until they meet again. So I want you to also think about those moments where when you've let something go, how the opportunities can come into your life. Think of this a bit as, and I'm going to say, a purging or a releasing, both physical, physical things in the home, because they can affect our energy levels. But because it's in this water sign of Cancer, this meeting up of Jupiter and Venus, where they're having their little conversation and hanging out, think of it as an emotional clearing as well. It's hard to sometimes receive gifts or opportunities when we're still hurting from the places where we've been burned, or we've experienced rejection, or we've hardened our hearts. It's like, oh, why should I trust it this time? And I get chills. There's been some things that I've been questioning, and I'm always so inspired, like it's that try again. The definition of success is you fall down 9 times, you get up 10. Maybe you fall down 1,000 times, you get up 1,001. I heard another teacher talking about, it was an astrology teacher who had done sales way before she became an astrologer, and they would keep track of how many no's they got and then the yes. And it seemed that they'd always get the same amount of no's before they'd get the yes, like 11 no's and then a yes, 11 no's and then a yes. So every time they heard a no, they'd be like, okay, thank you. And then they just move on, and they were able to move on without taking it personally. And because they knew the yes was coming, they knew around 11, the yes would come. But interesting. So I'm going to just put that out there, because I know from my own heart, as a sensitive, highly sensitive person, as an empath, getting that rejection, hearing the no's, or trying something and falling can really wear a spirit down. So looking to those who've walked the path before us and say, wow, well, you know what? They fell down 1,001 times, but it was the 1,002nd that got them over the edge. So just kind of something to keep in the back of your mind this week. So let's go ahead and dive into the energy of the week ahead, day by day. And just to kind of highlight, actually, before I do that, the overarching energy of the week, I think I pretty much commented on this, but it is a waning moon. We just had the full moon on Saturday. So here's how we're going to work with the moon to be in the right place at the right time, because I truly believe that luck is where preparation and opportunity meet. So you got your preparation you're doing, you're paying attention to your intuitive language, how universe speaks to you, so that you can take action, and then the good luck rains down. Okay, so Waning moon means it's releasing and letting go. The moon's energy is helping you support you. Let go, let go, let go. What can you let go? Let's just pull a card for that and just ask what kind of clues might help you when, if you don't already know what you need to let go of, in letting go. Ooh, High Priestess. This means that they're not going to tell you. God Universe says, you know, I'm not going to tell you, because if I told you, you wouldn't listen. So you might need to spend some time in quiet reflection. It's a very meditative card. The High Priestess knows the answer, but she's not going to just give it to you, because she knows it will mean more if you come to the conclusion on your own. So High Priestess says, go ahead and just take some time to meditate and float on Monday for sure, and see what is most beneficial use of my time and my energy to work around the releasing and the letting go. I know for me, I'm going to finally go through old baby clothes of my daughters and hopefully be able to release them. My little Cancer moon is very sentimental and likes to hold on to mementos and things for way longer than I should. But I need to make space now in that area physically. It's very emotionally heavy though. My mom had gotten a lot of my daughter's beautiful, precious clothes, and my mom passed, how many years ago is it now? We're 2025, 13 years ago. So it feels like letting go of a piece of her, you know, as well. It seems like it is. So anyway, it's a thing. I'll work through it. I've been putting it off, but isn't that interesting? 13 years ago. So I'm a little past due with my 12 years. All right, here it goes. So tuning into Monday's energy. Remember, Monday, the moon is void of course all day. This is a reflection day. It's clean up the old things. We can still work. We can still do our job. It's just, don't try to make any big headways. You might get frustrated because you might have to come back and do it again. So how can you make most of Monday's energy? Two of Wands. Here's a daydreaming card. So she hasn't gotten a chance to go on her trip yet. She's got the globe there at her hips, and she's like, I want to see the world. I want to travel. I want to go. I want to do things. She's stuck in the office, but she has her sneakers on. She's got her mindset in the right place. And she is dreaming. She's got to make a choice or some decision. She's at a crossroads. So with Monday, you're at the crossroads. You're being asked to kind of step up and make a decision. Am I going to move forward with this new 12-year cycle of opportunity and prosperity and good luck? Or am I going to stay where I am? You have free will. You get to make the choice. But she's daydreaming. Ooh, I get chills. Holy cannoli. All right, Tuesday. Let me just go to my notes, make sure I don't skip anything. Tuesday, moon is in Aries. So with Tuesday's energy, this is our big, beautiful day of abundance and prosperity, where Jupiter and Venus are kicking off the next 12-year cycle. We're going to feel the energy, right? It's going to be more than just Tuesday, but it's an opportunity for you to be aware of the doors that are opening, the people that are popping into your mind or your inbox, and the universe is going to be nudging you, take action. And it's great that we have an Aries moon, because Aries moon is bold. Aries moon acts. It doesn't think. It's like, let's just do it. We'll think about it later and we'll fix anything we need to fix. It's great because it's like, charge. We're going to go into the adventure. We're not going to hold back. We need that Aries energy. Okay. Otherwise, we'd be overthinking it and overanalyzing forever. I say that as like Libra sun. Like, oh, maybe this. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? We're polling everybody before we go. And an Aries is like, oh my God, stop. Just jumping around. Let's do things. Okay, how can you make the most of Tuesday? Isn't this interesting? Holy cannoli. Here's why this is interesting. Tuesday, right? We've got this big, beautiful energy of opportunity, and Aries moon, which is like, be bold, just go for it. And the card says, whoa, 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 whoa. Even though you might just want to go for it, you're being held back a little bit. It's kind of like you feel stuck. And rather than jumping the gun, which the Aries moon might be nudging you to do, Hangman says, wait a second. If you feel stuck, if you're pushing on a door and it's not opening, stop pushing on that door. Wait. The universe is doing something bigger than you can imagine to line things up so that you can be in the right place at the right time, and the opportunity can be in the right place at the right time. This always reminds me of The Adjustment Bureau, that movie with Matt Damon, I think Emily Blunt. And it was like the black, they were in like black suits, the agents. Like you could, anyway, they would align up certain situations so that like Matt Damon and Emily Blunt's character would meet, wouldn't meet, and then kind of like the introduction of free will and how we can change things as we go forward. But think about your angels and God universe hard at work trying to set up so many things so your dreams can come true. Because often, our dreams, involve a lot of other people and a lot of conditions. And, like, let's say you're looking for a new house and you're like, oh, I'd love that house, or I want a house like this. Well, we kind of have to wait until the other people are ready to move or sell from our dream house, or the land is ready to build on, or we can move to that country, our visa goes through, whatever the case is, or we've got the money in the bank to buy the house, the land. There's so many conditions. So we've got these big wishes and there's a lot of moving cogs in the, in the wheel trying to get it to move forward. Cog in the wheel. Yeah. Holy cannoli. All right. So Tuesday, I'm going to say, just look for the signs, because that's the Hanged Man energy too, is the story, the myth of Odin, Thor's father, receiving the signs of the runes. Okay. Moving into Wednesday's energy. Wednesday, we've got Aries. So, if you're feeling resistance, and I know I said a moment ago, if you're pushing against a door and it's not opening, stop, especially on Tuesday. Just pause. Now, if you're feeling internal resistance, like you're holding back, and it's more so because of you rather than outside circumstances, like you're hesitating to ask for that raise, or you're hesitating to apply for the job or quit the job, because there's a fear or there's a feeling of, I don't know if I have what it takes, the skills, the qualities, the resources. I'm going to invite you on Wednesday to be aware of the resistance and to ask yourself, what is the upside of that resistance? How is it protecting you? And just take a breath. What is the upside of the resistance? And just take a moment in reflection. And I'm going to ask, how can you make the most? Oh, we got a couple popping out. Holy cannoli. Okay, this is interesting. So Six of Cups pops up. And then also the Five of Swords. Now, with these two cards, I'm going to just talk about the Six of Cups because he popped up first. This is a reflection on the past, where we've been. This might be friends coming into our life. There might be opportunities and connection with old friends and loved ones, or just reflecting back to our youth, like when our puppy was young and we were young and now we're grown. Look how far we've come. But that Wednesday Aries moon, don't get caught in the reminiscing. I was helping move my dad's office down to the first floor for him this weekend with my son. And as we were going through and we were moving everything, I was coming across photos. And I was like, oh, like I was showing my son, look at everybody. Oh, look, this is your great grandmother, or this is so-and-so. And holy cannoli, we probably could have been done with the job an extra hour earlier if I didn't get stuck in the reminiscing. So much. So as you're clearing out the clutter and you're letting go of things, be careful not to get stuck in the reminiscing or thinking that the old days were so much better. Oh, if they could only be like, cancel, clear, delete. We're moving forward. Holy cannoli. Allow that forward momentum to keep going. And what can happen in the reminiscing is we might get caught in thoughts. This is the card that basically says you can win, but it comes at a cost. So everywhere that you've been pushing too hard, that's out of alignment with your heart's calling, you might find that if you keep pushing, you keep pushing, you could win and get in, but at what cost? And it reminds me of the story that's popping into my mind. School was an interesting thing where I grew up on the East Coast. And I thought you had to wait to be kind of like tapped on the head as the chosen one, like, oh, you're so smart. Come into the advanced classes, come into the gifted and talented. They called it GT. The AP, you applied for or whatnot, and some of those, but those GT classes, gifted and talented, you thought you had to be like recognized. And so my freshman year, I took all regular classes, and I met this girl my freshman year, came across my path. We ended up sitting together at lunch, new kind of school, new friends. And she was like, oh, Irina, you've got to learn how to play the game, right? How to play the game of life and how to win. Great book by Florence Scovel Shinn. And anyway, so I met this girl and we were talking and she's like, no, you just ask to be put in those classes. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I don't have to prove that I'm smart, or I don't have to be recognized as intelligent. She's like, no. So the next year I applied, or I put in, I want to be in the GT classes, the gifted and talented. Well, everything got approved except for the math. You did have to test into math. And I didn't pass the first time. And I was like, that's ridiculous. So I took the test again. And I think back to this moment where my counselor said to me, oh, Irina, like, forget it. Like, you didn't pass. You took it twice. Like, why push it? And like, it'll be too hard. You'll be too stressed. It'll be too overwhelming. You already have a tough load now. And I was like, okay. And I didn't keep pushing. You know, I look back on that and I regret that, because actually that was a decision I made that came at a cost, right? Did I keep pushing to win, or did I acquiesce to someone else's viewpoint and thought? I would have been fine in the advanced math class. You know, it might have been more work, but I love math. I love the numbers. I love the puzzle solving. It's very, very interesting. So, you know, where in your life have you been where somebody else's words have gotten into your head, and maybe you've laid down your sword too soon and you stop fighting? It's like, what cost does it come to retreat? It's a different way to interpret this card that's coming through than it has in the past. I'm going to just ask you, you know, like, at what cost does it take to keep going forward or to retreat and say, you know what, I'm going to just pause here, you know, because winning is too high of a cost, you know, to keep pushing forward for. It's very interesting, something to reflect on. I'm going to have to journal about that more, and I'll come back and talk about that more later, but just kind of play with. Okay. Thursday, when you wake up, the moon is going to be in Aries, and then it's going to transition into Taurus about like 9:30 in the morning for Eastern time, so you can readjust for your time zone. So still in that maybe energy of wake up, okay, I got to do something, and then the moon's going to switch into, oh, wait a second, let's slow down, Taurus. Now, Thursday is a day that's great for strategic planning. And he's great for strategic planning because the planet of communication is going to be working really well with your planet of drive, ambition, and go. So your mind's going to be sharp. You're going to be a little bit more assertive. Use that day to kind of bring together all of the work that you've done earlier in the week. The daydreaminess of Monday, reflecting, Tuesday, being aware of the opportunities that are crossing your path, the Wednesday energy of saying, okay, you know, which direction am I going to go in? Is it still worth the fight? Is it still worth the cost of winning? Or do I change directions? Thursday's a strategic day, saying, okay, I've gotten all this information. I've done my research. Now it's time to put some plans to paper. Taurus is about creating stability, predictability, and creating wealth. So you're really taking that time to say, okay, all right, I had my contemplation days. I've decided, you know, I'm going to keep moving forward in this area. I'm willing to keep fighting for this. I've fallen down 1,010 times. I'm going to get up 1,011. Here goes. And how am I going to do it? And you put together the plan. Ooh, I'm excited. Oh, I get chills. Friday, we're still in a Taurus moon, which is lovely. It's slower. It's like, let's enjoy the finer things in life. How can you make the most of it? Keep going. Keep going. Keep going, my beautiful, beautiful stargazers. Keep going. This is the 9 of Wands, and look at her resiliency. Her chin is up, and she's like, I have been through it. I have been doing so much and working so hard, and she's exhausted. You can't see it, but she is going to keep going. This is a card that's saying, you're so close. Don't give up. The finish line's right around the corner. We know you've been running for like 25 and a half miles, but you've almost reached the 26.2 finish line, the marathon. You are so close. Keep going. And you might need to lose some of the things you've been carrying. So think about the runners. When people do big races like that, I've seen it a couple times. I pretended to be a racer. And they'll wear all sorts of layers. So they're bundled up in the beginning, and then they'll throw off their jacket to the side of the road, essentially donating it. And then, they'll lose another layer and they'll throw that off at the side of the road. So there's this culture, at least there was when I was running a couple of moons back, where you just like shed your layers. And essentially that was also your way of donating the clothes. People would come up and scoop them up later. So it wasn't completely like littering. But this is saying you're trying to do too many things at once. You're trying to juggle. So this week, what the universe is preparing for you, and the moon is saying, hey, let me help you with the luck. Utilize the energy, the rhythms of the moon to help you realize, okay, I really need to release this clutter, because trying to move around all these boxes of baby clothes or clean around, the old baby toys, it's taking up a lot of time and energy that I could use playing, or building my business or connecting with friends. Our things start to own us. So is it an emotional clutter that's starting to own you? Is it physical clutter? Great way to kind of play. Saturday, it's a last quarter moon, great moon for healing, for forgiveness towards yourself, towards others, as you're releasing, if it's physical clutter. I love the Marie Kondo approach of like, you hold the item and you say, thank you for blessing my life. And I'm releasing you. Please bless someone else's life. Or please be, recycled maybe into the earth if you can compost it, so that it feeds the earth. But give yourself that moment for healing. And I go to the Ho'oponopono prayer, beautiful sacred Hawaiian tradition. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. All right. So Saturday, still Taurus moon. And it's a void moon. I'm glad I had my notes there, because I thought there's something else I need to talk about this. The moon goes void early on Saturday, like while we're sleeping, a little after 1 a.m. Eastern time, all the way until noon. So Saturday morning, use it as a slow time. Enjoy your coffee, long cup of coffee, slow, lazy morning if you can. If you're out working, then, just allow yourself to kind of have that space where you're not trying to get a whole bunch accomplished. It's a daydreamy Saturday morning. Lean into that. Recharge your batteries. I'm going to say, how can you make the most of Saturday's energy? Queen of Cups. This is emotion. This is your feeling. This is tuning in and allowing yourself that opportunity to receive the intuitive guidance. If you can be near water, it's a wonderful healing opportunity. Okay, Sunday. Sunday moon's in Gemini. Gemini moon, curious, asking questions, investigating. So use that to do some investigative work on where you're going and what's happening next for you. Oh, interesting. All right, what else do we need to know about this? Okay, so 3 of Swords pops up. This is, an intense card. It looks intense and scary. But, when we let go of things, when there's change, often, we have to do that deeper healing work. So that healing last quarter moon, don't skip that part. Allow yourself to heal the heart wounds. Allow it, because what you're doing is you're tending to the garden of your heart, the soil of your heart. And when you do that, you're going to have fertile soil to plant the seed of your dreams, the Ace of Pentacles. And this is a gift of money, something physical, prosperous, and abundant coming your way. But we have to do the deeper heart healing. Otherwise, we might not be able to see the gift or receive it. Holy cannoli. It's a big week. A lot going on. And it's just a joy to have you here with me. I love that we can come together and gather in this sacred space and talk about the week ahead. Please, if there are any things that you want to hear more about or hear less about, let me know too, in a very kind and loving way. My little Cancer moon would appreciate it. I hope that this has been helpful for you. If it has, please do like, subscribe, share it with a friend. It helps me out so much. It helps spread a positive, uplifting message to the world, so that my intention is that we can all step into our heart space and that we can really live from our heart space. We see the world differently and we behave differently. So remember, trust your heart, follow your vibes, have an incredible week. Many, many blessings to you. I hope, and I feel like, you're welcome, Hannah. You're welcome, Julie. Let me see if I can find this, because I don't have it memorized, but I feel very called to share the beautiful Irish blessing of may the road May the road rise to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sunshine warm your face. May the rains fall upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of their hand. Mwah! Many, many blessings. Good luck this week. Right place, right time. Get ready. Wonderful, wonderful blessings are coming your way. All right. I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye, guys. Oh, hey. And by the way, show up next week, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, same channel, same time. And let's talk about some of the opportunities. It would be fun to hear your experiences from this week. All right. Bye, guys.